Impossible. That is the only word that describes the Chris Watts homicide case. A pregnant mother is killed, 2 young daughters are killed, the father is left holding the knife, and the world asks how. A man adored by his family is incapable of slaughtering children. It is impossible. The shortcut narrative is this. Chris Watts was guilty from the moment we all saw it. The man talking in his media interview about his missing family couldn't sell a lie to a baby. It was obvious that he didn't really care about their well-being and showed absolutely no signs of emotional distress despite the gravity of the situation. His wife and children were missing. They disappeared off the face of the earth. Yet he stands there, lies and smirks. He must have done something to them. He must know where they are. They can't be okay. This man must have evil intentions. When he later confessed to the authorities for part of the crime, he was arrested and all blame lay on him and on him alone. When the bodies were found in the manner in which he disposed of them, unceremoniously and without a shred of care for their dignity, when it was found that he had to force his tiny children through 8-inch holes to fall down into a pool of instantly lethal crude oil, we all became certain that the man who put them there was entirely responsible for what had happened. His claim that his wife had started it was a vicious lie. He later admitted to everything he was being charged with and was sentenced to prison for life without the possibility of parole as a horrible, psychopathic, bloodthirsty monster who didn't deserve a second of comfort for the rest of his miserable existence. How could a man who showed absolutely zero warning signs be capable of such unfathomable and mindless violence? How many others like him lurk within our communities, hiding in the darkness, just waiting to strike when least expected? How can we protect ourselves from such an invisible threat? The story made no sense. All our intuition tells us that people capable of this type of violence show at least some warning signs. Someone from their past always has a sneaking suspicion about them. Chris Watts was the exact opposite of what we thought a stone-cold killer should look like. He met no diagnostic criteria for any mental health condition. He appeared to be living the life of anyone's dreams. He was extremely conflict avoidant, never spoke up, never showed anger, and never sought to control people. His psychological profile is not consistent with that of other perpetrators of this type of crime. However, it seems evident that he began an intense workplace affair, traded loving his wife for loving his mistress, became emotionally detached from his entire family, and eventually decided that the best way to start a new life with his mistress was not to get a divorce like millions of other men, but to murder his entire family. This is not a book that reiterates this line of thinking. This is a book about doing the hard work of exploring the evidence. Instead of starting with the assumption of guilt, this book starts with the presumption of innocence, and its work begins at the end of the first interrogation video where the criminal investigation left off. This is about well-informed speculation of what exactly Shanann and Chris were feeling the night of the murders. This is about comparing various theories of what happened that night with dozens of similar cases of filicide and familicide, so that we can use context and statistics to determine the likelihood that certain theories are true or false. In this exercise, confessions will be analyzed for deceit and authenticity before being considered. In this exercise, robust epistemological methods will be actively utilized to ensure that truth claims are supported by logically valid and sound reasoning. In this exercise, only evidence from reputable sources will be considered. No one in this book will be considered guilty of a crime until the end. As the DA, Micheal Rourke, said to the press shortly following the arrest, Chris Watts is a suspect who is presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. In this investigation, no confession or guilty plea will be taken at face value. The following difficult, time-consuming, and enlightening psychological analysis will reveal not an intuitive, comfortable, and familiar conclusion, but an unfamiliar, emotionally resonant, and obvious conclusion. What I experienced when arriving at my solution to this mystery was similar to what I experienced at the end of a movie when a masterful plot twist is revealed. When you look back at the story with this new insight, the things you didn't know didn't make sense now make sense. The uncomfortable questions you had are suddenly and unequivocally resolved. This is intellectual catharsis. The story is complete. Please allow me to share that experience with you.